Hey everyone, it's Jeremy with a little skull painted on me from Halloween yesterday, and I have another video to do for you. And the video's title is How to Make Things Better Than They Are. And I like this concept because quite often in our lives we'll face challenges. You may face challenges or things that, this is hard, you may think, while you're facing it. And whether it's something that's hard at school or work, or in your relationship or your friends you have or whatever it is, things are going to come along that are difficult. And I want to share a few, not just difficult, but things that don't quite work out how you might have envisioned or how you might have wanted. But there's a trick to being able to take any experience and see the good in it and see how things are better because you had that experience, regardless of how things worked out. So I want to share 3 experiences of mine that are experiences that I've taken and I've shifted to see the good in the experience, even though it was a hard experience. So experience number 1, obviously, I am now living on my own as a single dad of 2 girls, and some people would look at that experience and say, gosh, that sucks, and that you're going through that. First of all, the experience was my decision to do, and even though it was my decision, it is a different experience. It is kind of a difficult thing to go through, but it's not so terrible. It's not so difficult that it's all consuming. And the reason it's not so difficult is because I'm able to see the good in this situation, the right reasons that it was done and is happening. And by doing that, I see the situation as this is something I know will be all for good long term as I look at the reasons for it happening. I don't focus on being alone. I don't focus on, oh gosh, I have to provide for 2 kids and myself now and all that stuff. Totally fine. It is totally fine. And so that's one thing. I look at the good reasons for it, and I'm quite at peace with it. So there's one example. Look at the reasons, the good things. Another example is my young daughter tonight, Sienna, was having a really difficult time. She wanted to go back home to Mom's house because she missed her, and she was just having a tough time. She was crying, and I said, I could look at this situation and get frustrated with her and tell her to just stop crying, or I can see the situation exactly as it is. And that's always the thing you want to do when you want to make something better, is to first see the situation exactly as it is. So in this case, Sienna's having a tough time. She misses Mommy, and she wants to go home. And so I had Sienna sit down on my bed with me, and I just talked to her and comforted her and said, you're missing Mommy and home, aren't you, in your house? And and she was crying. And I said, you get to go back tomorrow morning, It's not too far away. But I love having you here, Sienna, and I'm glad you can be here. And she continued to cry. And then I said, wouldn't this be a good opportunity to take her and my other daughter, Ellie, and just do something fun with them and sit down with them? So we sat down on the couch and we watched videos of LAHWF. He's a social experimenter who goes out and just does funny and awkward things. He's an experimenter, kind of like me, just an explorer who likes to try things. And Ellie and Sienna Ellie was fine, but Sienna calmed right down. She loved watching the videos, and it was a great bonding experience. And I think I was able to help the situation be better by helping Sienna see that I cared about her and that I wanted her to be with me and that I valued her as my daughter and I valued having her at my place. And the time, it was spending the time directly with her doing that activity that I think helped calm her down. It was great. Another funny experience is that I was at McDonald's this morning with my 2 girls, and they are off playing. And one thing that I'm doing while I'm now on my own, living single, is whenever I feel like I should go talk to someone that's sitting by themselves, whether it's a man or a woman, it doesn't matter who they are, when I feel like, my body's saying, you need to talk to this person, I go do it, even though it's like, do I really have to? And then but I always now listen when I get that feeling that I need to go talk to someone, and so I do it. So there's this woman sitting down, and I just walked up, Ellie and Cia were playing, and sat down and said, "Hey, how's it going? Do you have a minute?" And just talking to her, and I just asked some random questions about what she did for work, and just blurted out of the blue, "Are you single?" And she said, "No." And I said, "Oh, that's good, because then I don't have to ask you the second question, which is, would you date someone with 2 kids?" And I kind of just chuckled, and she chuckled, but was like, "Okay, that's really awkward." And so I said, "It was nice meeting you," and went back to sit down, and then she finished her food and kind of scattered away. And it was really funny. I could have looked at that situation and said, "Gosh, why did I even bother going to talk to that person if I was going to make an awkward situation?" And for me, it's not so much about the result of the situation. It was, my body told me something that I know I needed to do, and so I got up, I got the courage to go talk to someone. And I forgot I had this thing on my face, so I'm sure she was like, "Who's this weird guy talking to me in McDonald's?" I'm sure that's what it was like. But for me, by doing that, my courage meter has grown a little bit. Every time I listen to my body and I do this, and I don't even expect anything from doing it, I'm just listening to my body. My body's saying, "Just talk to this person, just do it." And every time I'm doing it, my courage meter grows. And rarely, and less often, do I have experiences where my body tells me something and I don't listen because of fear. And it's interesting. I feel like my body's telling me that the courage I'm gaining, the lessons I'm learning by talking to strangers, are going to be invaluable for me for whatever the path is that I'm on for the future. There's going to be something I'm going to do in the future that's going to require a tremendous amount of courage and tenacity and just certainty within myself. And I feel a great deal of certainty and peace. But I also know I have a ways to go to achieve a higher level of courage and certainty. So that's how I look at an awkward situation and see it better than it is. It's a lesson in courage for me, and it's something that I'm enjoying doing. Whenever my body says, "Go talk to this person," I just do it. And I say whatever comes to mind. In that case, it was to be really awkward. And it was fun, and I enjoyed it, and it was a great lesson in courage. And so, to make things better than they are, obviously you want to understand the exact situation. If it was an awkward situation, if it's something hard, just recognize it, say, this is hard. Okay, now how is this going to be better? What am I going to learn from this? How can I make this better? What can I say and do? What can I learn to make this situation better? And this is how you make things better than they are. You choose to consciously think at a higher level of things being better rather than focusing on the difficulty of things in the present moment. And this has been of tremendous value for me as I've been living on my own for about a month now or so. And so I think it'll be tremendous value for you to adopt that mindset if you so desire. And just listen to your body. If it tells you something, chances are it's something you should go do. Your body's just saying, "Hey, you need to do this." And in my case, I need to talk to random strangers, and sometimes it's awkward, like especially when it's with another gal. It's just, I might say something very silly, and it's okay. It's a lesson in courage. So follow your gut. Look and make situations better than they are by finding the good in it. What are you learning? How are you growing? Those kinds of things. And if you do this, you'll start to become more than you are right now. And it's such a good feeling. It's such a good feeling to grow and become more than you are. It's so good. And so that's my video for you. And I think I'm going to go wash this off now because it is kind of funky looking. Thanks for watching.